Today we're going to talk about dividing integers. So dividing with the same sign, dividing two positives will give a positive answer. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Again, it's the stuff you've been doing since 3rd grade. Now, dividing two negatives will also give a positive answer. The multiplying and the dividing rules are exactly the same. If you have two negatives, all right, the answer is going to be a positive. The reason? It's the opposite of a negative is a positive. So here are a couple of examples. If we have 48 divided by 12, well, 48 divided by 12 is simply 4. All right, same signs, both positive. For example, B, your numbers are both negative. They're the same. All right, so your answer is also going to be positive. Negative 56 divided by 8 is 7. 8 goes into 56 7 times. And then, for example, C, negative 35 divided by negative 5 is also 7. Negative 5 goes into negative 35 7 times. When you're dividing with different signs, dividing in a positive and a negative will give a negative answer. All right, same with dividing a negative by a positive. The order of positive and negative does not matter. The absolute value also does not matter here. So, for examples, all right, just do the math. Don't worry about the signs, do the math. 45 divided by 5, how many times does 5 go into 45? Oh, let me get my pen here. Let me back up. Oh, hold on. Alright, so it goes in 9 times, and what is the opposite of a positive? Negative. Different signs, so it's going to be negative. Same thing, negative 63 divided by 9. 9 goes into 63 7 times. They are different signs. It's going to have a negative answer. The opposite of a positive is a negative. And C, doesn't matter that it's in fraction form. It says negative 64 divided by 8. 8 goes into 64 8 times. And again, the opposite of a positive is a negative. So the fun stuff, evaluating expressions. First you need to replace the variables with the given values and then simplify. If it happens to be in fraction form, simplify both your numerator, that's the numbers that are on top of the fraction bar, and simplify the denominator, those are the numbers on the bottom, underneath the fraction bar, and then divide. So here's a couple of examples. First one, evaluate each expression if x equals negative 6 and y equals negative 3. So for A, I'm just going to rewrite by substituting in what I know. So instead of 2 times y, it's going to be 2 times, there's my parentheses, no x for multiplication, 2 times negative 3, and that's being divided by x is negative 6. Alright, so orders of operations, left to right, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, positive times negative. Rewrite. And negative 6 divided by negative 6, just do the math. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 6 goes into 6 one time. Sorry, there's my clock. Hold on. Sorry about that. So 6 goes into 6 one time, and they are both the same signs. The opposite of a negative is positive, so that answer is a positive 1. Example B, it's in fraction form. All right, same thing. Substitute in your numbers for the variables. So instead of 3 times x, it's going to be 3 times negative 6 all over the opposite of y. I want the opposite of y, which is a negative 3. I need to simplify both the numerator and the denominator here. Start with the numerator on top. 3 times negative 6, well, 3 times 6 is 18. Those are different signs. The opposite of a positive is a negative. All over, and we keep talking about this. What is the opposite of a negative. The opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. Now that I've simplified in both the numerator, the top, and the denominator, the bottom, now I can divide. Don't worry about the signs. 18 divided by 3 is 6. All right, it's the opposite of a positive. The opposite of a positive is a negative. So your answer is a -6. And finally, I want to talk about the mean or average. You've done this before. When finding the average, when finding the mean, you need to find the sum of the numbers. So that means you need to add up all the numbers. And then you need to divide by the number of items in the set. So if you have 5 numbers, add up all 5 numbers and then divide by 5. And that will give you your average. So we'll be looking at all of this tomorrow. I'll see you then.